about blood, and you wore the right colour.
Yes.
Menstrual blood. So tell us about where this fear of blood starts.
Well, I think that, and what I've read and researched, is that it actually starts more than 5,000 years ago. Women were living in, and communities living in matriarchal and matrifocal communities where women were revered and women were in positions of power and leadership, and our bodily processes were revered. And then there was the northeastern invaders that came across, this is old Europe I'm talking about, came across and brought in their sky gods, and their whole thesis was that the men were so much better and women were inferior, and anything to do with women was inferior. So, and that's progressed through the last 5,000 years of patriarchy, and coming into the Common Era, we had the Inquisition, and then all the witch burnings, so all the women healers, so anything to do with women's bodies and blood, because they couldn't understand why women had bodies that bled but did not die. So that's why the fear of the blood came in, because if men bled to that extent, then they would die. So, and there was no understanding about the menstrual cycle then, until say the last 500 years. But then, because a lot of the women healers were also killed off, then a lot of that women's wisdom was lost through the ages. And then, the men took over the medical professions or the healing professions. And it's really only been in the last 100 years or so since women started being the healers again and coming back into the medical professions, and our understanding of the menstrual cycle, that we're starting to recover that. Our blood is actually very powerful. Our menstrual cycle is incredibly powerful, and it contains all this intelligence in our body that we can use in our life, but we haven't been taught about this. So part of my mission, as well as my teachers, I really want to honour Alexandra Pope, who lived here in Australia and who taught me. She then moved back to the UK and has written the books Wise Power and Wise Woman, Wise Power now without menopause, so that Wise Power. So really started explaining a lot about how the menstrual cycle is really our ally. It's not something that we have to suffer through, and yet a lot of us still feel pain. It's not to say, of course we do, and how do we deal with that? But it has a much deeper purpose, so that's why. But there's still people flinch when you say the word periods and blood, and particularly older. It's starting to change, which is fantastic. I mean, even the Super Bowl this year had an ad, the ads at halftime for hot flashes, or as they call hot flushes in America. So it was and they used the word menopause, which is so that it's really coming out, the taboo is starting to really be broken, which is fabulous.
So the ads for say a pad doesn't have to be blue.
Blue blood, yes.
Yeah. So I wrote a book with Dr. Melissa Kang about periods, a guidebook for young kids expecting their period. And one of the illustrations was a girl kind of going, "That," and there's a patch of blood on the back of her pajama pants, and she's kind of like, and I remember seeing that and being like, "Oh my God, can we show that now?" Even though that's an experience I think probably every person with a womb here has had.
That's right.
At no point was I told, actually, do you know what? You are not a massive failure for that happening to you.
That's right.
This is a very common experience that we all have. To see it drawn and illustrated and the blood to be red was like, and that was only a couple of years ago. The taboo of that still remains.
And it still is, even a week ago, I don't know if you saw that marathon runner, Emma Pallant-Smith, or Emma Pallant, I think her name was, and she'd been running for 2 hours, and it was the first day of her period, so she's crossing the finish line. Did anyone see it? And she had some blood, because tampons aren't going to cover a 2-hour marathon run. Wow. And there was some criticism from some male saying, why didn't she, just edit out that bit of that's not okay. And thank goodness there was all these women that came to her support and saying, why shouldn't we be able to? We are athletes, that's just what happens naturally to our bodies. It should just be part of the course. You know, men get bloodied playing football. It's like, well, she's an athlete, and even if she's not an athlete, why is there such a taboo about it? So he got jumped on pretty quickly. So hopefully it is changing.
Yeah, I think it is. And Eloise, I wanted to get to you about